All right, this video is going to focus on the split squat, and this is a very particular way of doing the split squat, actually. What you're looking for in this is basically keeping your torso vertical, 1 foot forward, 1 foot's going to be back in a long lunge, and when you come down, you're coming down vertically, and you're going to lift your heel of the front foot, fold the front leg completely. You're trying to get the hamstring to touch the calf, and then the back leg is going to be stretched out, and you're going to feel that stretch to the hip flexor on the back leg. So there's two things going on. You're going for the maximum fold in the front, the maximum length in the back. And to do this just body weight, I'll just demonstrate here. So my left foot's forward, my right foot's back. And when you come down into this, you're going to stay on the toes of the back foot, hips squared, and then when you bring this down, lift the front heel, sink down, fold that front leg completely, and you're trying to basically bring the hamstring completely over the calf of the front leg. Keep the back hip pulling forward, and then come back up. And you're just taking it back and forth like this, trying to find as much range as possible here, and keeping your torso vertical as you're moving. Now, if you don't quite have that range, which most people don't, the way to scale this back is to elevate the front foot. I'm going to pull out a box here to be able to step up on. And so on this edge, this is about 14 inches up. And you're looking for something probably about 12 to 16 inches basically to start. Depends on how tight you are. So with my front foot, I'm going to start with my right foot this time and step my left foot back. And it's going to take a little bit of adjustment to feel out the length of the stance that you need, but it's going to be the same thing. So I'm coming forward to fold that front leg completely. The heel's going to lift, and I'm going to stay on the toes of the back foot. So coming into this, keep your torso upright, keep your chest pulling forward, shoulders back, and then when you sink down, fold that front leg completely, pull the back hip forward, and then come back up. And you're just taking it back and forth like this, finding that maximum fold in the front leg and keeping all the length in the back. Now, if you're particularly tight, and if you want to take things deeper, especially when you come down low to the floor, you can add weight to this. And I recommend, there's a bunch of ways to do this, but taking hold of dumbbells is usually best, because if you have too much for whatever reason you need to release, you can always just drop them down at your side. If you have a barbell on your back, things get a little bit more problematic, especially if you don't have a spotter around. You don't need a lot of weight, so I'm going to grab a couple dumbbells here. And so this is going to force a good amount of control as I come down. So my left foot's going to be on the box, my right foot's going to be back. Let me just find that long step. And again, keep your hips squared. So keep your torso upright as you sink down. Fold completely into that front leg. Keep the back hip pulling forward. And then come back up. And just keep taking it back and forth like this, keeping the torso vertical. Now, if you're able to do the same thing and take it down lower, I'll put the blocks to the side. And then take this down to the floor. So I'm going to switch feet. So now my right foot's forward, my left foot's back. So I'm finding that initial lunge. So with our front leg, it's about 90 degrees or so. The hips are squared. And again, as I bring this down, I'm going straight down, lifting the front heel, folding the front leg as completely as I can, and trying to get the torso upright. And then come back up. And just take it back and forth like that and keep it under control. Now, what I recommend doing here is 5 sets of 5 repetitions, switching one leg to the next. In between legs, take about a 30-second break, because once you bring the back foot forward, and that's going to be the leg you load, the thing is, you've already stretched the hip flexors quite a bit, and it's going to take a moment for things to chill out so you can work the other leg. So feel that out, and if you're using weight, even if your hip's a little bit higher, this is going to help you sink down further into the lunge. Start with something approaching 5% body weight, and you can always scale it down and bring it down slowly. Even if you're just holding 2 pounds on each hand, the extra weight is going to definitely going to make a difference. But take what you can handle, start with body weight to get the movement down, and then 5 sets of 5, maybe adding at least 2 to 5 pound weights, and then maybe taking up toward 5% body weight, which is good for mobility. And if you can take it deeper, and if you're a bit stronger, maybe start to move up toward 10% of body weight. Don't shoot right there, but feel things out to decide which level weight you can actually control coming into this. And keep in mind, ease into it, especially when you add weight and you're just building up a mobility. You're going to the very end range of your mobility, and you don't want to just take things too far and stress things too much. You want to build up to that stress and let things strengthen over time. Hope this helps.